So I was watching this show on Netflix called Beef a while back. No spoilers here, but the show is all about the anger of the two main characters. And the music really helps get that across. There was this montage in the middle of the series that had Bush's Machine Head playing. And if you've heard Machine Head, you know it's a perfect fit for the theme. It's classic 90s alternative filled with angst and rage and amazing to play, say, if you're stuck in LA traffic and you need to let off some steam. And that's what music does to us, right? We tend to feel something when we hear it. We might be driving or at a bar or at a school dance. We hear a song come on and we might say, I hate that song, or I love that song, or I remember that song. It really takes me back. So today, let's talk about why we have such an emotional reaction to music and why the link between music and nostalgia can be so powerful. So let's just say hypothetically that I'm visiting my dream destination of Vietnam. That I go to a bar by myself, I'm feeling kind of lonely, and I'm very awkwardly trying to order a drink in Vietnamese. And in my awkwardness, I hear a song come on. There's piano, a woman's voice, and I recognize that it's Olivia Rodrigo's Vampire. And that recognition happens because our brains jump through all of these hoops when we listen to music. Just think about it. A song starts and automatically we recognize certain instruments, a pattern forms. We hear and understand words and phrases. We think about who's singing and try to place them if we don't know who it is right away. And as we put it all together, music kind of encodes itself into our minds and our memories. In fact, music can be seen as a kind of shortcut to a memory or a trigger, which is why a nostalgia song is a nostalgia song. With nostalgia, we tend to feel a longing and connection to a past. It's sort of a double-edged emotion, right? It's like a love of something, a love of that moment in time. But you can't really hold on to that moment because it's already passed, so it's very bittersweet. And this can be especially true if we remember a song from our teenage years when we tend to have heightened emotions. It's almost like an extra push to remember those songs. When I was watching Beef and Machine Head started playing, it really took me back to a moment in time when I was developing my personal taste in music. I spent most of my adolescence in the 90s, and I fully remember when my older cousin came home with that album, Bush's 16 Stone, on cassette. It was 1994, the same year Kurt Cobain died, and grunge and alternative music were blowing up. I was 12, and as my high school age cousin played Machine Head on her dad's old stereo, I thought no one was cooler than her and this band. The guitar starts out pretty rageful, and then Gavin Rossdale's rough voice jumps in and races alongside the distorted riffs of the guitar, the drums, and then everything sort of slows down in this contemplative moment, and then it starts up again. It's a 4-minute roller coaster of emotions. This band knew exactly how to express all the angst I felt at the time as a pre-teen. Though I'm not really sure what all that angst was about, I was very dramatic. I love that song. And that's the thing about nostalgia, right? It really is so powerful in how emotional it is. So it has a big effect on not just the songs that we like, but our general, taste in music. It might be fun if you have a song that brings back a lot of nostalgia for you to put it in the comments, and then we can all kind of see each other's favorite nostalgia songs like one big playlist. Now, newer music, like that Olivia Rodrigo song that I heard in my imaginary bar, can also connect us to memories and experiences. Our life experiences often link certain music with emotion. Like, for example, my aunt loves country music, and when I was a kid, she used to drive me to school, and that is what she used to play in the car. So when I hear country music now, I think of her and those early mornings and us having a lot of fun together. And yes, she loves Beyonce's latest album, as we all do. And when it comes to media, it's even more likely that you will connect to the kind of music that you consumed in media before. A jarring piano or violin sound could evoke a sense of dread or fear because you heard it while watching horror movies, and now you associate that music with horror movies. Or it's common to feel sadness if you hear slower music, which is often used in dramatic scenes on screen. I will never forget when I went to go see Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon for the first time. I had never seen anything like that before. And I was young. I must have been in high school when I saw that. Yeah, and it was just the most amazing film. I mean, the martial arts were incredible, the story was incredible, and the music really just put it over the top for me. I had loved music in movies before, but there was something about Yo-Yo Ma's cello that just brought everything so much more to life. It was just like this low sound of longing, of sadness, of hope, of ambition, of the central character and her wanting more and figuring out her life. It's something that is just sort of burned into my memory. And when I hear the cello now, I think of that film. And of course, there are so many memories that we associate with music, but really nothing beats hearing it for the first time. And if you're anything like me, you hear a song, it totally speaks to you, and then you have to hear it again. You look up the lyrics and try and analyze what the lyrics mean. You know, you might go and look at the artist and see what they're about, and then listen to their other songs. And it is a whole spiral. That is what music can do when it just moves us. And there's actually a Sanskrit word for this feeling called kama mutta. In English, it translates to moved by love and can be described as heartwarming, stirring, or being emotionally touched. And there are even studies on kama mutta. A group of scientists from the University of Oslo and UCLA actually collaborated together and created a whole kama mutta lab. And there they study kama mutta in works of fiction, reading fiction. They study it in experiences with nature, and they study it in our relation to music. In 2022, the lab did a study on the social emotional phenomenon of being moved by music. 415 people were tested with 7 different emotional pieces of music. And then they used a scale to rate how they felt about it. Did they perceive sadness, beauty, joy, or feel moved, or a sense of connection? Did they actually physically feel warmth in the chest or chills? The findings supported the role of music in both social cognitive and empathetic listening. In other words, music can give us those same feelings of understanding that we use when comforting a friend. It may help us relate to each other in the same way that, for example, we can recognize that a person is happy when they're smiling. My personal takeaway from all of this is that kama mutta, both in general and with the music that we listen to, is all about feeling connected to something. So if you're feeling lonely and you listen to a song about loneliness, you're feeling connected to the experience of the person who's singing or the music that you're hearing. And in a sense, that connection means that you're actually not alone anymore. At least you're not alone in what you're feeling. That connection part is the part that moves us. Without it, a song is just a song. I mean, just think about a song that you don't feel connected to. It does nothing for you. And then you hear a song that absolutely moves you. It's a completely, obviously different experience. When I think about connecting to others, empathy plays a huge part in that. And music is a very empathetic medium. It's almost like its own language. It conveys an emotional experience through sound. And with certain songs, we don't just understand what the song is trying to tell us on an intellectual level. We actually feel it. The last time I heard a song and really felt it was when I heard Kishibashi's I Am the Antichrist to You. It's not a song about religion. It's actually about how human beings tend to dehumanize each other in times of war. Kishibashi, if you don't know, is a Japanese-American musician. He sings, he also plays violin really beautifully, and there's an ethereal quality to his music, at least from what I've heard, that I really love. I heard a clip of this song while I was scrolling through Instagram. There was a clip of his rendition with the New Deco Ensemble. So there was an entire symphony behind him. And his voice is just so angelic and gripping. And of course, you know, I didn't get what the song was trying to convey right away. I didn't even understand all of the words that I was hearing. But what I did understand was that the person singing was in pain. And they wanted me, the listener, to understand why. That's empathy, right? And we feel that a lot when we hear music. One reason why we feel empathy through music, why this might happen, is because of something called mirror neurons. Mirror neurons help us understand social situations as well as empathy, or at least that's one of the theories behind them. What does that mean? Well, mirror neurons could be the reason why we cringe when we tend to see something embarrassing, or why we might cry or feel sad when we see someone else sad or crying. And researchers like the neuroscientist Marco Iacoboni argue that mirror neurons could help us understand empathy, which might also include empathy for music. In fact, Iacoboni and his colleagues further explored direct connections between music and empathy. And they did this by performing brain scans on people while they listened to music that they liked and disliked, just to see what was going on inside the brain. And as a result, they witnessed deep activity within the regions of empathetic thought inside the brain. So with all that said, there are so many reasons why music makes us feel. There's a neurological component, a physiological component, and a shared human experience. So just think about that the next time that you hear a piece of music. It is a beautiful thing. If you're interested in beauty and how the brain works, then check out the video on your screen, which is all about how beauty can help us get things done so we have more time to enjoy our lives. And next time I'll be talking about the beauty of concerts. So stay tuned for that. It's coming up in 2 weeks. Links for all the music I mentioned today will be in the description box. And special thanks to my brother Audrey for helping me with this video. He helps me research all of my videos, but this was a little bit more of a heavy lift, so really appreciate you. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.